every NBA team's best offseason move. We're going to be choosing one, either trade, signing, draft pick that every team has done this past offseason, and which one was the best move. Starting with the Atlanta Hawks, I went with trading for Kristaps Porzingis. He's another all-star player to pair with Trae Young and in hopes to make the playoffs next season. The other move, in my opinion, that could have been considered was the signing of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, which is an amazing move, but I would still give the edge to Kristaps. The Boston Celtics. For me, it would be the trade for Anthony Simons involving Jrue Holiday. Anthony Simons is the best player that they got this past offseason. The Brooklyn Nets. I went with trading for Michael Porter Jr. He's still a very young player. Could see what he does next season with the ball in his hands more. The other possible move I went with was the draft pick of Igor Demin. Obviously a very young prospect, but I still went with Michael Porter for now. The Charlotte Hornets. I went with trading for Colin Sexton. Gives the Hornets an experienced guard in case LaMelo goes down. Could play some meaningful minutes in hopes to make the play-in tournament. The other move I could have possibly went with was the draft pick of Knupel. He was amazing in the Summer League, played very well, and we'll see what he does next season. The Chicago Bulls, they haven't made many moves this offseason, but I think their best move was the draft pick of Noah Asenge with the 12th overall pick. The other move in contention was trading for Isaac Okoro. The Cleveland Cavaliers, trading for Lonzo Ball from the Chicago Bulls. That would be their best move, I believe, this offseason. The Dallas Mavericks has to be drafting Cooper Flag, first overall pick. Another move that I've almost considered counting was the re-signing of Kyrie Irving. Obviously, after trading for Luka, there were many questions if Kyrie was happy, unhappy, would he want to leave, but after re-signing this past offseason, seems like he's locked in, and Mav fans don't have to worry about him leaving anytime soon. The Denver Nuggets, their best move was trading for Cam Johnson. They've had a busy offseason. They've signed Bruce Brown, Jonas Valanciunas, they've signed Tim Hardaway, but I would say their best move by far was for Cam Johnson. The Detroit Pistons, I believe their best move was signing Karis LeVert. Gives them a nice off-the-bench scorer, or if they even want to start him occasionally, he's going to be an amazing player for them. The Golden State Warriors have done nothing this offseason. They have made no re-signings. They've made no signings. Obviously, they're only waiting. They're just waiting for Kuminga to finish up, whatever's going on with that situation. The only thing they've done, their best move so far, is drafting Alex Tuhi with the 52nd pick. The Houston Rockets, without a doubt, their best move is trading for Kevin Durant. They've made some other great moves this past offseason. They've signed Dorian Finney-Smith. They traded for Clint Capella, re-signed Steven Adams. But obviously, without a doubt, their best move is for Kevin Durant. The Indiana Pacers, they're also a team who haven't made many moves this past offseason. Their best move would be trading for Jay Huff from the Memphis Grizzlies. The Los Angeles Clippers. Now, they've had a very busy offseason, but I believe their best move was a very close one. I believe it was the signing of Bradley Beal. Many people might argue and say John Collins, but I feel like Bradley Beal is still the better player. After trading away Norman Powell, they need someone to fill in that scoring guard, and that would be Bradley Beal. The Los Angeles Lakers. The same thing with the Kyrie Irving situation. I almost went with the re-signing of Luka Doncic. Obviously, there are many rumors that Luka could be possibly unhappy in Los Angeles following the trade. He could possibly be wanting to leave. But obviously, with this re-signing, locks up Luka, and Lakers fans can rest. But I went with the signing of DeAndre Ayton. They needed a center, and the first overall pick in 2018 is on the team. The Memphis Grizzlies, I went with the signing of Ty Jerome, a nice off-the-bench player for the Memphis Grizzlies. The Miami Heat, their best move was without a doubt trading for Norman Powell. Gives them a 20-point score on 40% three-point shooting this past season. Going to help them massively in their hopes of going for a playoff run. The Milwaukee Bucks, their best move was the signing of Miles Turner, giving them a stretch five next to Giannis. a nice defensive anchor next to Giannis as well. They're going to be amazing front court, and Miles Turner, without a doubt, is their best move. The Minnesota Timberwolves have actually not made many moves, many signings, not a lot of draft picks. They haven't done much this past offseason. So I had to go with the re-signing of Julius Randle. They also re-signed Naz Reid. But, Randle, I would say, is the better player. And I would go with their best move was re-signing Randle. The New Orleans Pelicans, I believe their best move was trading for Jordan Poole. He's still a very young guard in the NBA, 20-point scorer, amazing handles, good shooting, good playmaking. And hopefully next to Zion, he could take the next step. The New York Knicks, I believe their best move was signing Jordan Clarkson. The Knicks lacked bench depth in the playoffs last season. They missed that score off the bench, and Jordan Clarkson is exactly that. The other move in contention for me was the signing of Yabusele. Very underrated pickup, I would say, but I still would go with Clarkson. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Obviously, as the champs, you just win. You don't really need to do much except just run it back, and that's exactly what they did. They re-signed their big three, Chet, Shea, J-Dub, to massive contracts, locking them in. But they also did make a draft pick, which I believe would be their best move, is the draft pick of Thomas Serber, a young center that could possibly take over if they let go of Isaiah Hartenstein in the future. The Orlando Magic would be the trade for Desmond Bane, giving them a scoring guard that they always needed. With Desmond Bane on the team, they're able to make a nice run in the playoffs next season with the East being wide open. Philadelphia 76ers, their best move is the drafting of VJ Edgecombe. Edgecombe was dominant in the Summer League. He looked amazing. And next season for the 76ers, either he starts or comes off the bench. He's going to do amazing. The Phoenix Suns, their best move would be the trade for Jalen Green. They obviously had to trade KD, but obviously he did not want to be there. So getting a young guard, a 20-point scorer in Jalen Green is amazing trade value to get back. The Portland Trail Blazers, with the surprise of the offseason, well, the Bucks surprising everybody by releasing Dame. And then what possibly even more surprising is the Blazers re-signing Damian Lillard. And that would be their best move. Even though he's not going to play this season, most likely, he's still an all-star player. And that would be the Blazers' best move. The Sacramento Kings, they really haven't done much either, but their best move is the signing of Dennis Schroeder. Rumors still going around they want to sign Russell Westbrook, but as of the making of this video, that still hasn't been finalized. So Dennis Schroeder is their best move so far. The San Antonio Spurs, their best move would be the draft pick of Dylan Harper. Obviously, the second overall pick is going to be one of the better moves of the offseason. But the Spurs get him. Hopefully next season he gets some decent minutes. Obviously, he's with De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle might be a little bit jam-packed in the guard position. But if he does get some meaningful minutes, we'll see how he plays for the Spurs. The Toronto Raptors, their best move was the drafting of Colin Murray-Boyles, a center that could back up Jakob Poeltl next season. After Chris Boucher left him for the Celtics, he's a very young backup center that will play meaningful minutes next season for the Raptors. The Utah Jazz, I believe their best move would be the drafting of Ace Bailey. He was mocked as a top 3 draft pick, but the Jazz managed to snag him at number 5, which is amazing value. And he's going to get heavy minutes next season. And without a doubt, that would be their best move. The Washington Wizards, I believe their best move was the trade for CJ McCollum, a 20-point scorer, near all-star player every season, consistent, efficient. He's going to help them win games next season if that's what the Wizards want to do. The other move in contention would be the drafting of Trey Johnson, but we'll see how many minutes he does get next season. The Wizards do have a lot of young guards that they do need to play, but hopefully they manage to find some minutes for him. Thank you guys for watching. That's every NBA team's best off-season move. Let me know in the comments below if you guys agree or disagree.